Okay, so we took a look at some review sheets last year where we made a review sheet of all the things that we need to know for the chapter. And now you're going to see more often having a review sheet per chapter rather than just occasionally. So let's circle vertex in red, vertex form, and general form. And next chapter, we're going to look at factored form, all of our three forms. And we learned how to go back and forth between the different forms. Now remember, FOIL and factor were last year's processes. And completing the square is the only new process. Whichever. We learned why the forms were good. So, if you want to look for the vertex form is great because you can see the vertex. Remember, inside of the brackets is the opposite of what you see for the x value. Off to the right, general form is good because you can do the vertex with the formula minus b over 2a. And standard form we're going to learn in the next chapter, which we kind of saw a little bit about, but you can just add the two x-intercepts, divide them by 2, represented as zeros and roots for z and r, and then just find the y value with the table of values. The axis of symmetry on the left, well, it's just x equals the x value of the vertex. Or x equals, again, the x value of the vertex. Or again, x equals the x value of the vertex. The domain is always xer. If you want to have an x-intercept, you just put 0 in for y and solve, or 0 in for y and solve. Or in the next chapter, we're going to learn how to set our factors equal to 0 separately and solve. And for y-intercepts, just put 0 in for x, or again, put 0 in for x. But general form is nice because the y-intercept is the c value. Okay, down below in the table, if a is positive, it opens upwards. And the range is y is greater than, and the max or min value, the min value is y equals the minimum value. If a is less than 0, it has a maximum like this. So a minimum is like this because we have a point at the bottom. And we have a maximum with a graph like this because we have a point at the top. And it opens downwards. And y is less than the max, and y equals the max. So again, if a is greater than 1 or less than -1, we have a vertical expansion. And if a is between -1 and 1, we have a vertical compression, making graphs steeper, not skinnier, and flatter, not fatter. Okay, the second page of the graphing review sheet, we're going to start to see 2 review sheets per chapter. At the top, we're going to talk about the important parts of a quadratic. We have the vertex, we have its shape, we have the axis of symmetry, and x and y intercepts. Then I've got the graph down below, and a reminder of the table of values, and the axis of symmetry in the middle, and the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts, and everything that we talked about above. And all of their forms down below and why they're good. Vertex has vertex form. Standard has the y-intercept clearly. The factored form, we can clearly find the x-intercepts. We're going to delve into that in the next chapter. And then a tiny little simple version about how to go back and forth. Last year we learned how to factor. Last year we learned how to FOIL. Last year we learned how to FOIL. The only new process is completing the square. Remember, these are all the same equation. They're all exactly the graph above. Different ones have different features, and we have to know how to go back and forth between those.